Hello, family. It is Thursday night. Time for another live. This is a very, very special live, in my opinion. I'm very excited for this one. Anyway, I hope y'all are well. And as you watch this, come on in. Welcome, Ashley. Eat and drink, be merry. A la Portillo. Jody, Irish girl, what's up? Finding her way. Yeah, Llewellyn. Finding my healthy half has joined. Yes. Let's add somebody in here. Let's talk it up.
Hello, hello.
Well, what's going on, sister?
Hey, big brother. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
How's baby number 4?
Oh, man. Look at her. She's getting so big.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, she's popping for sure. She makes it as it's known.
How many more days, weeks?
We're 4 weeks from yesterday.
Okay.
So
it's like basically you're in the window of all safe now. It's good to go, right?
yeah, if she comes, she would most likely be fine. That kind of thing. Yeah. We have a scheduled induction date, but that's because of my blood thinners, and so they want to control when I go into labor.
How are your legs?
My legs are still a hot mess.
Yeah.
They are getting a little better, but it's just, I have to do the massager every night so they're not restless, and I have to wear the compression tights or they just swell and hurt, and they're still all torn up just from itching, and so I'll be happy once that side effect of pregnancy is gone.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
that's crazy. All the things that change in life, now the way the world is and bringing a baby into it,
yeah, nobody asked me if I wanted to give birth during a pandemic. I think I probably would have checked the no box on that one.
Yeah. I don't want to do that, but it's a problem nobody knew 8.5 and 9 months ago. So
oh man, right? Yeah, you can't predict that. But I did go to the doctor today, and she and a friend's husband who works in the medical field have both reassured me that labor and delivery are pretty much unaffected except for visitation protocol. So that was reassuring, because I was like, what if we get to the hospital and there's no beds?
Yeah.
But that's not the case, and so
I'm sure. Now, what might happen 9 months from now when all these young people have been sitting at home for 2 months? I saw a meme earlier that said that 9 months from now, if there's a baby boom, it will all be first-time parents. Right?
Yes, because
anybody that's already got one ain't making another one during this.
Yeah, anybody who's got one at home right now full time, or 3 for that matter.
Yeah.
3 3/4.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny. But one of the crazy things is I guess it was 3.5 years ago, when you were at this point in life and you realized that, oh my gosh, I can't carry 3 of these kids, right? You changed your life.
2.5 years. Yeah.
2.5 years ago, whenever Thomas was coming out, it was I've got to make changes, right?
Yeah. It's been interesting to see the difference between this pregnancy and my other 3, because for all of my other 3, I was significantly overweight, didn't even know where a gym was.
Yeah.
And didn't even think about what I was putting in my mouth. Didn't even cross my mind. Just whatever I wanted, when I wanted, and however much I wanted. Yeah. And so even though I've gained 50 during this pregnancy, about somewhere around that, it's still my pregnancy weight of just around 200 right now is still 60 pounds lower than any of my other pregnancies.
Wow.
And just being conscious of what I eat, and I definitely give in to cravings. Obviously I wouldn't have gained 50 pounds if I didn't,
Yeah.
But it's a different mentality, and the fact that I'm still moving and finding ways to move, that was never part of pregnancy before for me.
Yeah.
It wasn't part of life before.
Oh yeah.
So it's just different. Those things are different, and I'm determined, man. I'm gonna do the splits on the day I give birth. You watch me. In my hospital gown, on the hospital floor. I've got to remember to have my husband take a photo.
That's right. Hold on. Before you numb me up, let me do this.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Hold on, let me get my pants on for a minute. Do the snakes, and I'll take them off.
Oh, wow.
But yeah.
That's crazy. So are all the other kids like super excited? I mean, I know
They are. Yeah.
GQ's got to be so excited.
Yeah, GQ is super. The oldest is 4.5, or almost 5. And he is super excited. He keeps saying, I can't wait for her to come out. And every week he asks how big she is. And Kate is really excited because she's getting a mate room, not a roommate, a mate room. She calls it a mate room. So she's excited. Thomas just knows that baby is coming out. I don't think he doesn't really get it. But he's the one that's going to seem huge when the others get here, because right now he's the baby.
Yeah.
But he's not. I mean, he's 2.5, so he's not a baby at all.
Yeah.
So
how do you think he'll handle not getting as many cuddles? I mean, maybe he'll get some more with Dad or something, but
yeah, I think he might have the roughest time. The other two are already used to sharing Mom pretty well, but he'll probably be the one that
I mean, I see him like whenever he gets like a little frustrated or whatever, like he wants to just like stick his little head right here and not talk, and he's our cuddler for sure. Yeah, for sure. I love it. Yeah, and like, man, it's so funny how personalities are of like siblings and how they can be so different. Like Kate's personality,
she's intense. I'm realizing now, like Thomas, I think is more of my introvert. Because like after being sheltering in place for as long as we have been now, he's totally fine, no need. Whereas like Kate is like I've got a video of her standing at the window in her bedroom, waving at someone half a mile away through the glass.
Well, I saw the video.
She just wants to interact with somebody else.
I saw the video where Gordon was like closing her up in the blinds.
Yeah. So
I love it.
It's just interesting to see how they've come together through this, and
yeah.
But
cool.
She's
a little bit of business. I did this giveaway. Did you see the giveaway that I was doing?
I didn't. I've been kind of off and on because of the kids, and so.
Yeah, I'm about to confirm this. I'll send a DM later after it's over. But I think the lady who won. Okay, so first of all, I gave away a bunch of Natural Heaven, which is Heart of Palm. You haven't had that?
Oh no, but I've heard good things.
Okay, so this stuff is amazing. Like it really is good.
Pasta, right? But it's
all kinds of pasta. They have angel hair, they have spaghetti, they have lasagna, and they have other ones that are coming out that I've tried that are equally as awesome.
And the texture good.
Aren't released. Yeah. The spaghetti tastes just like spaghetti. When you put the marinara and the sauce and all that stuff on there, and the same thing with the lasagna and the angel hair, is all good. All of them are good. And the cool part is like Heart of Palm is like really good for you. It's like good for your heart, good for diabetes.
It's not just low point. It's like
it's almost. I mean, like I think there's 25 calories in a serving or something like that.
That's insane.
Almost minimal. I'm pretty sure it's like 0 points, but so good. And so the owner of the company started the company because his dad was kind of sick and that kind of stuff. And he's just been super kind to me. And they originally sent me some product, and then I bought some product, and they sent me some more product, and he's like, hey, let's do a giveaway. Like, heck yeah, because I love your stuff. And, I really believe in it. So we do this giveaway. And the amount that he wanted to give away is like $100 worth of Heart of Palm.
That's awesome.
Which is like 6 boxes of angel hair, and then like an eco box of all 3 of the angel hair, the spaghetti, and the lasagna. So like whoever gets this prize, the lady that won is going to be stocked up and be making lots of Italian dishes.
Especially right now when you don't want to go to the store. That's even better.
Yeah. So we did the random drawing, and I think her name, I have to confirm this, but I think it is Amy 4WW.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe if Crystal's watching, she can look it up. I don't know. But anyway, she won. So I will send her a
DM. That's exciting.
So
congratulations. So where do you get it if you want to try it? Like if I want to.
It's on Amazon. Yeah.
Okay.
Amazon got it. Yeah, just Natural Heaven.
Is it come in is it dry, like a dry pasta, or it comes in like
It is not dry.
Okay.
It is in a vacuum sealed bag.
Okay.
And so basically, like for the spaghetti, if you put your marinara and all that stuff in the meat and all your stuff and get that going, you could even do like some of what is Skinny Taste 0 point marinara or something like that. And then you have like almost like a 0 point spaghetti dish. Yeah. But all you have to do is just, once you've got that nice and hot, put in your pasta in it and then mix it all together. And once it's all mixed together and it all is hot, it's good. If there's no cooking to it, there's no boiling to it.
It's nice.
Yep. It's amazing. And the cool part about I didn't know this until I read some of the information that he sent me is that heart of palm is a sustainable part of the tree. So when they harvest it, it grows back. It doesn't even kill the tree.
It's renewable. That's nice. That's good all around.
I love it.
If I was going to try one, which would you pick for me to try?
I mean, it really is just whether or not you want to try lasagna, spaghetti, or angel hair.
Okay.
They're all super good. Like I would say try them all, but they're not huge portions. So for you feeding the crew, you're going to have to like basically spend an eco box. Yeah. So, and they're not super cheap or nothing, but I mean, like it's all about, investment on your journey. Like the lasagna boxes. Yeah. The lasagna boxes, I take those and I make the one package. I cut it in half and then I save the second half of it and put it in a Ziploc bag. And then a couple of days later, I'll have another one. But I do like a dish that's like this big. And I'll lay down the pasta, marinara, meat, cheese, marinara, meat, cheese, and stack it and then bake it for like 15 minutes on like 400 or something like that.
And it's like a single serving kind of thing.
It's like a single serving. I feel like I'm good eating the whole thing. Yeah. It is quite a bit. It's a large portion, but I think it's only like two or three smart points. So it's just amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And it's all points for cheese.
On blue?
I'm still on blue.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Although heart of palm, it's probably the same on. Well, it's definitely the same on purple.
Yep.
It's probably similar on green. It's not higher on green.
I think it is. I don't know that it would be any different.
Yeah.
But it's good. I enjoy it. I've had other noodle companies send me stuff. Of course, I think we both did al dente.
I have never had al dente.
What was the other one? The Impossible.
I like.
Yeah,
I like the rotini, I should say. I'm not a big fan of the other ones, but the rotini cooks nicely.
Yeah. And then Miracle Noodle sent me some stuff, and I had a couple of those and didn't. But then Natural Heaven that's really good.
Natural Heaven, Heart of Palm. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's. I think they're really deep into the keto market.
Oh, and that's good because my husband's back on keto.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
I should definitely try some because that's how I found the Impossible. Also, is when Gordon was.
Yeah, I mean, like it just depends on what you're doing with your kids. I mean, most of the time when we make a dish like that, me and Krista eat it, and then the kid eats macaroni and cheese.
I usually just deconstruct it for my kids. I'm like, here's your noodle, here's your meat. Like they don't eat it better that way. They don't eat it mixed all together.
Yep, absolutely.
GQ will sometimes, but the other two are like, I'm not touching it.
Yeah, Bella doesn't like.
I'm not wasting it on you.
Bella doesn't like things that look like meat. Like she will eat chicken or Italian sausage or whatever, but like it just like if it looks like a bunch of hunk of meat, she doesn't want it. Like she won't ever eat pot roast. Yeah,
no, Kate's my super picky.
Yeah.
Thomas he's my most adventurous. He will try anything I have. Like if I have a breakfast taco, like all mixed up together, or if I have like a casserole, he'll say he wants to try a bite, and he'll try it at least. The other two are more. We do a lot of like bribing, like you get a sticker if you eat a good dinner on your chart. Because it's like, I'm sorry, you can't eat chicken nuggets every day of your life.
Yeah. All right, now we're struggling with you can't eat in front of the TV every meal, but
yeah, it's hard right now because you're home and you're working,
Yeah. Well, and the TV's really good at occupying their attention for a period of time where you can like just sit and just whatever.
Yeah.
Terrible parenting, I'm sure, but
I feel like
I remember watching a lot of TV as a kid, and I remember being like, I don't know, I was probably 6 or 7 back in the early 80s, and my parents would go to work, and I'd be home all summer by myself. Like, I mean, I had older siblings, so there was the 3 of us, but like none of us. I mean, my sister couldn't put out a fire or nothing.
Yeah. I feel like right now, like, there's so many parents that are navigating how to work from home with littles. Like, if your kid is watching Netflix, it is okay. Yeah. It is okay. They are gonna be okay. Do you know what I mean? If you are not the Pinterest mom and like you're not doing a craft every day, then that's fine. Yeah. Like I do crafts with mine because I enjoy them and the kids like them. But like the last 2 days we haven't done one because I've had a doctor's appointment or we just had a lazy day. And I'm like, that's the one perk about being sheltering in place is that I get to decide what the schedule is.
Yeah.
Today, there's no schedule.
Yep. So I like that. I wish we were at a point to where we could have like the ability to like declare like you are our safe friend, so we can see you as you know, like somebody like across town, but like you're still struggling with whether or not they have actually seen someone in the period of time that you didn't know or they forgot or didn't remember or whatever. But
we
like,
are like,
you watch my kid for like 4 hours, and then I will watch yours for 4 hours.
Yeah, yeah. I wish. I'm not even saying like usually my sister and I will do that with our kids. So if my parents are gone, because right now they're on a cruise.
Yeah,
that's when we started. But we aren't even seeing them because I'm so paranoid that Gordon is going to get sick, my husband.
Yeah.
And then he won't be able to be in the delivery room. So I'm like, nobody in the house is going anywhere except for like I go to just the doctor's appointments for her. Mm-hmm. And then I come home, I change clothes, because nobody can get sick because we have a new baby coming, and like I just can't risk it. So
yeah, I can't imagine. Like, I mean, basically, if one of you or one of the kids get sick or something, then y'all gonna have to divide and conquer, and like for 3 or 4 weeks, one of you's having to watch the others that are not healthy to stay away. I mean, God.
Yeah, and like I was gonna send my mom was originally gonna watch the littles when the baby came, but she is still on the cruise, and so I had to okay, what's the backup plan, And so it was gonna be my older sister who has kids, but then her kids are still going to their dad who has other kids from another mom, and so it's like it's just too many, like way too many germs. So my little sister is actually she's so sweet. She's gonna self-quarantine for 2 weeks before the baby comes at home. Then stay at our house with our kids for those 2 nights or whatever. And then we'll bring the baby home. And I've told family, I was like, you're not gonna meet her in person. I'm sorry. It's just unless things change, you're not gonna meet her for a while. So
yeah, I mean, I can't imagine.
It's just surreal. Like there won't be any newborn photos taken by a photographer, and there won't be, like we've already canceled our maternity shoot, and like just stuff like that. So it was so normal with the other 3. Like someday I'm going to tell you about how you were born during a pandemic and all the things that changed. But
I promise I will not name you Pam.
But I will not name you anything related to pandemic. I already have things embroidered, so I can't.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can't imagine the crazy names people will come up with. That.
Oh yeah.
Vita and Coroni and.
Yeah, I mean but I mean I am happy to shelter in place if it means that everybody else is, if it's my part to flatten the curve, I'm okay with that because the numbers, the statistics on if we shelter in place drop drastically if we can all do that. So
I think I had 2 other things that we didn't talk about that I want to talk about. Okay, so one of them is, were you sad you didn't get to come with us to Oprah? Are you sad about that?
I am very sad about that because it looked amazing.
It was so fun. I hated we didn't get to see you.
Yeah, it looked like an amazing day, but after also seeing with the day involved, I would have not made it.
Yeah.
Like I would have been just spent. So I'm glad I got to you met Natalie.
Yeah.
I gave my tickets to my workshop coach, and she brought a friend, and she was super appreciative and really loved it. And so I'm glad I got to give it to somebody who really appreciated the experience. But yeah, Oprah, I mean, it looked like an amazing experience from start to finish. Like,
oh, it was great.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like one of those experiences like you never forget. Like it just stays with you, kind of thing, and like that you're afterwards like pulling these nuggets of they're just pieces of inspiration and like education like along, because it's just so much on the day of that you can't absorb it all.
Oh yeah, it was so good, and I left so just refreshed and energized. I mean, I don't feel like I was struggling or anything like that, but I just knew that like 17,000, 18,000 people that were in there, that were all just really focused on. Well, for one, everybody wanted to see Oprah, I'm sure, but just the event, the way it went together and that kind of stuff, it was really good. So I was sad that we didn't get to see you and you didn't get to meet Anna and that kind of stuff.
I know.
It was a fun night. Fun night.
The meetup also.
Yeah, there was quite a few people there. There was a lot of people that knew me and I didn't know them. Like it's so weird now. Like and to run into people that like walk up to you and they're like, Phil. I'm like,
yeah.
Who are you? Now I got to put it in context. I'm like, I know where I know you, but I don't. Like,
yeah.
Well,
that's what Anna said after the experience too. Is that it was just she felt bad almost for not knowing everybody who knew her.
Yeah.
She's the kind of person that would, normally. And I'm the same way. Like we had the small meetup here in Dallas, back a while back, and people, there were a couple people that, you know, knew me and I didn't know them. And I was like, I'm so sorry, you know, that kind of thing. But it's just surreal. And I can understand that because, like, we have those people for us, like, you know, Pound Dropper and Busy and, you know, all those. So, but yeah, it's surreal. Instagram is such a surreal thing. Like, to be, you know, somebody once told me that being famous on Instagram is like being rich in Monopoly.
Yeah. Yeah, that is probably the very, very deepest truth right there. I mean, like, other than the fact that, I mean, like, being rich on having a WW Instagram means that you get lots of free food. That's about it.
Yeah.
I had some other random,
I have to say, like, too,
cauliflower pizza company send me a message today. Can we send you some food? I'm like, you can always send me food. I will
always review your product for you. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, if I like it, I will share about it. But beyond that, you know, you're just wasting the shipping. But you know, yeah, it's so funny.
I like, really, the support I've gotten lately, especially with the pregnancy, has been.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I told you early on when I found I was pregnant, I was real worried that it wouldn't be the same experience on Instagram because I was going to be gaining weight. I'm going to be eating differently. I'm going to be working out differently. I'm not going to be doing error. You know, like, just everything was changing. And it's been the total opposite. People have been super supportive, super curious about my pregnancy. I've had a number of also other pregnant WWers reach out and ask questions about how I'm managing both, that kind of thing. And it's been really like a blessing. Like, it's just an everyday blessing.
Yeah. Let me look up some statistics here. So, and then we can talk about some real WW stuff. Okay. One, I want to talk about, like, what it's like to try to think about all the mindset stuff while you are pregnant, and beyond, like, the pregnancy now. Like, I would love for you to tell a little story, like, how you feel differently, you know, over the other kids now. It's a total different experience. All right, so what we're celebrating tonight, for all the people that are watching, anybody that does watch, is tonight is the 1-year anniversary of the WW Phil Lives. Okay, so
I can't believe you've been doing it a year.
Yeah. So I did one in February of last year with Anthony. And then I didn't do it again. I was like, oh, I should do those again. And I talked to you. I was like, hey, you want to be my first person? I'm just going to continue to do these and see how long they go. And I had no anticipation that they would continue and turn into the thing that it has, but whatever. But so on March the 28th, we went and did our first live together. So this is the 52nd consecutive week that I've done one. I only didn't do one time on Thursday. And that Thursday was when I went to see Hamilton, the musical, but I did it on Wednesday night with Ambassador Renee that week. So this is the full circle, 1 year. And the interesting part is I keep track of how many followers the other person has, and I have when we do the live, as of the day of the live. So I know, and then that way when I come back on, I can see. For instance, like, I went live the first time with Lindsay, and our first live was, let me find it here. Hang on a second. She had 200,000 on April the 18th. And then we went live again at Christmas time. And around Christmas time, she had 277,000. And now she has over 300,000. Yeah, so our, like, crazy thing. And she's been sick. Did you know that?
I did know that. Yeah. I saw your post, and she had commented on that kind of thing. She said she got some antibiotics, though, so hopefully she's feeling better.
Yeah, she's better. She is better. I talked to her a couple times yesterday and once today, so she's doing better. But anyway, on March the 28th, you had 3,900 followers, and I had 897.
That sounds about right.
So, we're both, like, almost at 12,000 now. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane.
Like, where do all these people come from?
I had somebody reach out to me again and message me and ask if you were really my brother.
Well, I don't know. I mean, like,
I said, not biologically, but
I would claim you as my sister for forever. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But
no, we met at coach training, and it just grew from there. And
yeah. So, like, we're the Donnie and Marie of WW. Right? That's what we say.
Yeah. So that's our claim to fame.
Yeah. Anyway, and I always say that, and people are like, really? I'm like, whatever you want to believe.
Yeah,
I don't like correcting them. So anyway, all right. So that's the thing. We've done it a year, and it's been amazing. And I have some of the most amazing people that are coming on. Like, it's really cool.
Yeah, your lineup has been. I mean, everybody you've had on has been great.
Yeah.
No matter the number of followers they've had, you've had.
No.
I mean, it doesn't. You've had great people on the show.
Yeah. So it's been cool, and I'm excited to see where we can do with it this next period of time and that kind of stuff. So
I can't believe you've done 52 consecutive weeks of.
That's right.
God, it feels like that year. It feels like that year went really fast.
It did. Like what's crazy is like I'm wildly insane about getting people coming on, and because what I do is when I see someone that I want to talk to and inspires me, I like reach out to them and be like, hey, do you want to come on?
Yeah.
With me? And then somehow I'm so inspired or whatever the reason, I want to connect with these people and talk to them, and I just have these conversations and invite them on, and then it gets to be like multiple people, so it just keeps pushing back. So like literally I'm scheduled out all the way until the second week of June right now.
Are you really?
All of it. So basically I'm already working on the second half of the year, so I can fill in those 5.5 months, and we're at 2021.
You're gonna be committed before you even know it to 2 years.
No, what's cool is I had a cancellation for next week, and the person that I'm having come on with me is a school teacher, and coming on in the middle of the year was going to be way too hard for them. Got to be in bed and that kind of stuff. They're New York people, and so they had said no, and they said, check back with us in the summer, maybe it'll work. So a couple weeks into this pandemic thing, I texted them, hey, you got time to come on now? Yeah, come on.
Do I know this person?
I'm sure. Okay. It's not a secret. I mean, Christina runs the world.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah. So,
that's so cool.
she'll be on with me next week. So I love doing this, and I don't ever like broadcast who's coming on. And the only reason I don't do that is because I have had several instances where people had to change. For instance, like a couple instances is one. I had Jayana scheduled to come on, and WW called and wanted to put her in a commercial at the same time that she was going to go live with me. She chose WW. What's up with that?
What?
All right, so that happened, and then after they were gone, Sophie just joined. She's going to come on here in a few weeks. Let's see here. Who else? Oh, Emily. Emily Gets Fit. Emily and Josh. She was scheduled to come on, and then they got Christmas, and I had this because I had it scheduled out so far. They got Christmas gift to go to see Evan Hansen, with the musical, and it was on that day. And she was like, "Can we move the date?" And I was like, "Yeah." So let me call the guy who's coming on next week, which is Kelly. He offered to move up a week, and then moved Emily over, and then of course I can't remember who had to cancel or whatever, but I know Denise came on real short. Shallots for Life. She came on with me real short notice. So just kind of fill in the gaps. Most of the time,
it's labor of love what you're doing. Like, it's, you put a lot into it.
Yeah. So. I love it. I would do more of them if I had more time or if it was not obnoxious and I thought that anyone wanted to hear from me that much. But whatever. I just love talking about WW. So anyway, tell me what it means for you, like now, having gone through all of the emotions, feelings, now that you're close to the end of this fourth pregnancy, compared to where you were, like mindset-wise and all that, going into that third pregnancy. Like, what's totally different?
So going into the third pregnancy, most people, if you've heard me talk before, that was my turning point. That was when I realized that something had to change, something had to give, because I was this pregnant. I was 8 months pregnant. And I had my older two, who were little. One of them was 10 months old, 9 months old, and the other was 25 months old, So both under 3 and very pregnant. And I couldn't catch my breath. I couldn't keep up with them. I couldn't do the things they wanted to do. I had no energy. And it was just, it was not okay. It wasn't the mom I wanted to be, wasn't the person I wanted to be. Yeah. And so I realized I was like, okay, I can't change much now because I am so pregnant, but I knew once baby got here and we got settled and absorbed, and became a family of 5, that I wanted to change things. And it just kind of grew from there. WW was such a lifesaver in that aspect. Like I just started with the food portion, and followed that pretty religiously, at first for sure. And then added the activity in because I realized I didn't want to just like to keep up my kids. I don't just need to be skinny. I need to be strong. I need to be strong. I need to have strength and endurance, and the way to do that is to be active also. And so I started doing that. And now where I am now, like I can still take all my kids for a bike ride. I can still go on a walk at 8 months pregnant and I choose to do that now. I'm like, hey, let's go for a walk. Never would have done that 8 months pregnant with my other 3, I'm waking up and I'm making time to do some yoga in the morning, every morning, because I want to have that movement. I don't want to lose what I've gained or not all of it anyway.
I just had an idea. You know what y'all need? Y'all need one of those bicycle bars. Have you seen those?
No.
Okay, so like it's funny. They have them in Oklahoma City. It's the dumbest thing ever. But like they drive down the street and it's a bicycle bar and there's a driver, but everybody has to sit on a bar stool and pedal. And they drive the bar as they sit there and the bartender just bartends for them. But as a family with all y'all, you'd be like all pedaling. Older.
When they can actually bicycle.
It could be orange juice. I'm just saying. Like, it'd be funny. Y'all driving around the neighborhood with all those kids.
I know. I'm super excited. My electric family bike actually has a spot where the infant seat clicks in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I will have to boot one of the older ones to the trailer with my husband's bike. But the infant seat will click in. So, awesome. But we ride to, before all this, we would ride our bikes a 1.5 miles to breakfast and you go to breakfast. That would never happen before. I still have days where I'm low energy or I'll have random times where like, oh my gosh, I can't catch my breath because I'm pregnant. But it's not because of my weight or my health. It's because I'm growing a human. Like it's she's doing something monumental right now. I'm tired, So it's just a very different and I would still be going to the gym if I wasn't sheltering in place, and that's just so surreal to me to be. Yeah. I never thought I'd be pregnant and going to the gym, or pregnant and doing the splits. So it's a very different mindset in general. The food mindset is also still there while I'm giving myself a little more freedom. I am technically not supposed to be a WW member right now because I'm pregnant. I am technically a member on digital only because I'd like to have access to tracking. Mm-hmm. I don't hold myself to sticking to my daily points because that's not the goal. The goal is really just for me to use the tracker and the calculator to know what I'm putting in my body. So if I make the choice to eat 2 cookies, I know what it kind of in my mind, okay, that's this many points for future reference, that kind of thing. And if I make a new meal that is point friendly, then I post it, because for one, people can benefit and then I can go back and look at it later. Yeah. Because I do plan to get, once baby is here and we get acclimated to be a family of 6, I do plan to jump right back in and get back to goal and all that jazz. So do watch it. It's going to be an epic comeback. Epic.
That's what, what's funny is I was kind of thinking about if I was betting on you, like how quickly you can lose, you have a, 7 or 8 pound baby. Obviously that weight is not in you, but that's more than that and that kind of stuff. So whatever you have, if your goal is just to lose the 50, I was like, would she lose it in 6 months or 8 months or a year? A year from now? I would just say that there's no way that it'll take a year for you. There's no way.
If I can dedicate myself the way I did after Thomas's birth, which I should be able to, then it should not take me a year if it's similar. I lost 100 in a year after Thomas. Yeah. So, and I'm hoping, I would really like to not. I'm not going to gain 50 pounds in 4 weeks. So I should not have that much to lose. And if I do gain 50 pounds in 4 weeks, y'all need to hold me accountable because something ain't right.
Something ain't right. That girl done found a truckload of Oreos.
Yeah. I didn't find toilet paper, but I found Oreos.
I forget. I never can remember the name of those peanut butter bars you gave me. What were those? They're so good.
Peanut butter. Oh, Chalk Zero. The peanut
Chalk Right?
Chalk Right peanut butter patties.
Oh, man. They're so small. I wish they were 3 times that size.
I know, but they're so good.
They are.
They're sold by the same people that sells the Impostable.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, they're sold by, it's Thin Slim Foods. They've got a whole bunch of different products, and those are my two favorite. Is the Rotini Impostable, and then the Choco Bright peanut butter patties.
Yeah. So, all right. So I'm curious. After you lose the baby, I mean, and you've been working out so steadily, like in the aspect of, I mean, maybe not near at the intensity or the quantity that you would normally work out, but like in my opinion, you work out at least a healthy amount, if not more than most people that are pregnant. Like I feel like a lot of people just kind of let that go.
Yeah.
You know, so you're kind of like coming into it with some like extra power. I feel like that.
Yeah.
Once you don't have that weight in there, that momentum of losing that weight, and then that once you gain back your strength and feeling normal and feeling like you can stretch your body again and not hurt yourself.
Yeah.
It should feel so good to do that.
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. Like being able to not be restricted. Like I really miss aerial a lot. I miss aerial yoga. I miss my aerial yoga teacher. I miss the studio.
Yeah.
Like I miss being in the hammock a lot. And that's because it's the one thing I haven't. As soon as I got pregnant, they grounded me. They said, feet on the ground, you're a fall risk, you know, that's fine for the time being. But as soon as I can get inverted again, my soul is going to be so happy.
Yeah.
You know, so I can't wait to do that. I can't wait to like rebuild my core. My core right now is just, I mean, there's a tiny human growing inside my core, and she's really disrupting things, you know.
And the doctor is going to cut it open and take her out.
But hopefully not, because she's not breached anymore. So hopefully there's no cutting.
Okay.
Hopefully she comes out the way the others did, and my core is
okay. You said, okay, I was confused. You said a scheduled induction later, but not a C-section.
Induction, not C-section. Yes. No. Okay. Yeah, she is head down, so she stays head down. We're just going to induce and do a normal delivery with like the others. Okay. If she flips again, and she's breached, then it's a C-section. So, and she has been a very different pregnancy from all my three. So you know what, I don't put it past her to throw me for a loop. So we'll see.
Well, maybe you need to make one little trip to Ariel and turn her around.
Right, like. You better hang out inverted, little girl, because mommy can't.
I love it. So how do you manage, like, you know, I mean, you speak about kind of how you did it before the kids, whatever, because you obviously have all these faces to feed. Like, what are some of your strategies for how you feed those people and feed yourself, and like keep that not being overwhelming on WW?
So I typically plan the meals, and then it's what my husband is very good about eating whatever I make. So when I first started WW, he would just eat whatever I made. And the kids at that time were eating different things than we were anyways. And so that wasn't that hard. Now my kids, they get on their plate what we get in our plate, in some form or fashion, whether it be deconstructed or a portion of it, not all of it, that kind of thing. But they will still, like, I still give them, like, if we have taco night, they'll have taco night. You know, it just looks differently. I might have a taco salad and they'll have taco with tortilla, you know, that kind of thing. My husband is now doing keto again, which poses a little bit more of a challenge, but the Skinny Taste, her website is organized in the nature that you can select by special diet. So I go on and I pick a keto recipe, and all of her recipes have WW points attached to them. So I go to the keto one, so I know it's keto friendly, and then I find one that also fits points.
Okay.
And it's been a lifesaver to be able to do that. But I can usually adapt, like if we're doing taco salads, like he gets different dressing, different toppings, and I get this, you know, that kind of thing. So I keep a lot of different things on hand. But we all end up eating roughly the same specific, you know, genre. So if we do pizza night, the kids get a frozen pizza, you know, and I make Busy's skinny dough, you know, like it's just amazing. And he gets fathead dough, which is a keto recipe, you know. So it's just, you know, you just kind of adapt, and it's one of those things where it takes more time and more effort, but if it's worth it to you, you just make it happen. It just becomes normal.
Yeah, you absolutely. I mean, I think with anything in that, especially food and activity, that you have to find that thing you love. I mean, for you, it's, you know, early morning, you know, making sure that that's a priority, setting those rules in yourself that, you know, if I say I'm going to go on the evening, I'm going to go tomorrow morning because that decision is made. Yeah. That kind of thing. I've always loved that about you. because there's always the opportunity to talk yourself out of it, or just like halfway do it, or
like a million excuses every time you turn around. I've had some people email me or message me lately on Instagram about how it's so much harder not having the workshops, and it is. I'm not discrediting that. If you are a workshop goer, and I've always been a workshop goer, then this is a big change. You know, the big change, but it doesn't have to be the end of your progress.
No.
I mean? If you want it bad enough, then you're going to find a reason and a way to make it work versus finding an excuse to quit.
Yeah.
And you're going to feel 100 times better about yourself for doing that. And there's going to be stumbles along the way. It's not going to be, you're figuring out a new way to do things. There's going to be stumbles. There's going to be setbacks. There's going to be gains. But if you keep pushing forward, you're still going to feel better about yourself for that perseverance. And when you do find that progress and that routine that works, then if you had just said, you know what, they changed it, I can't do it.
Yeah.
You know, like there's no easy way to do this. It's just, you've got to make it work.
Yeah.
There's no miracle quick fix.
Yeah. And I think there's something to be said for, there's a kind of a dual sharp-sided, whatever, approach to starting on WW. One, you can be like very, very strong-willed intent. I'm going to do this, that kind of thing. And that can work. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. But when that feeling fades, and surely it will, no one walks around the rest of their life with that strong, I'm going to do this mentality.
Right.
For one, even success can start to diffuse that mentality, because you're like, oh, well, you know, I'm starting to get successful. I can ease up a little bit.
Yeah, I can let it run a little bit.
So what you find is that level of intensity, hardcore, that kind of thing is not sustainable. So you have to come into it with a sustainable thing. Well, you can also come into it with, I don't really know what I'm doing. I kind of laissez-faire. The only thing I know to do is do food right. And that way it will also work, but you're not bringing any mindset change in that. Like, you're not bringing in anything of actually embracing of the reason why you're there, the reason why you have gained this weight, and that
what
stuff.
got you there?
What got you there, and that, and realizing that being overweight is a symptom of what's going on in your life. Like, your habits of how you ate food are more important to diagnose and dig into those, rather than
food is what needs to change.
Yeah, you don't have to manipulate your food. You have to manipulate your behavior.
Yeah,
and then food can remain.
And if you do that, it's so much longer lasting. Like,
yeah. So those two things together, putting that stronger, I'm going to get it mentality, coupled with how you do your food the right way, and then using the right amount of like actual effort, is good. And what I find for me and a lot of people I talk to is like, that's where you actually don't have to try as hard. You're like trying a little bit softer, like, because you're pushing and pushing and pushing, and like, that's not sustainable. Sometimes letting it come to you a little bit. And that's the eye-opening thing for me was that I went 16 weeks on WW, my success story book, and I didn't really think about it a whole lot. I just tracked and got my blue dots, and then I'd lost 40 pounds. I was like, dang, 40 pounds is pretty significant. Let's do this again.
Right.
And then I really started thinking about it, like in that March of my
first year. You get that momentum.
Yeah. So what are you anticipating this time? It's almost like you kind of got a second chance to do one of the most fun things ever, and that's beginning ramped up
back to goal.
Yeah, that good 7 straight weeks of like loss. You know, like, you know, once you get to goal or whatever, it's like loss gain.
Yeah,
you know,
it's maintaining. It's a lifestyle just maintaining.
Yeah, so like you're not seeing exciting changes. You're just seeing maintenance, which is healthy and good. But like, sometimes
when I was at goal, I was focusing on like physical, like activity changes, like achieving a new position, an aerial, or like being able to do a pull up, those kind of things, which gave me that same kind of like thrill, you know. But yeah, no, I'm excited. Like I'm excited to be able to like right now I'm not supposed to lose weight really. Like I could lose a little and it'd be okay, but like I'm not supposed to be focusing on losing weight right now because growing a tiny human. So I'm excited to get back to where my body is mine. You know, it's not a host for this beautiful child that I'm growing, and super happy to do it, and I'm blessed to be able to do it. But I am looking forward to like, okay, my body is back to being mine. Like I get to control like I can lose weight. I can, I can do it this way. I can make it, whatever I want it to be,
Yeah.
and make it fit for me. I think that's what you were getting at before, is that you've got to work the program. The program is not going to just work for you.
Oh yeah.
It's not a button you push and then all of a sudden you get results. You have to work it.
Yeah.
And you have to find how to work it so where it's sustainable for your lifestyle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's the magic, is once you find that balance between this is my life and this is lifestyle, not a diet, but a lifestyle, and they merge to where it's seamless, like then you're sitting in the pretty spot,
Yeah, absolutely. So how have you, like, for yourself, navigating through like all of the crazy that's going on right now? I mean, like, obviously it's summer. You normally would be home with your kids anyway. It's a little excessive because you can't go to the playgrounds that you would normally go to. All that activity, that kind of stuff. So how are you navigating that, and specifically in relation to like just mental health, and then also like food and that kind of stuff?
So as far as food goes, I'm still able to get food that is WW friendly, which is nice. I haven't run out of too many things that, like I don't have my specific hot dogs, so I had a higher point lunch the other day. But beyond that, like I still have my essentials that I rely on to make healthy choices, which is good. So that hasn't really changed that much here. I'm just doing a lot more eating at home than we did before. For me, the hardest part is like you said, the emotional and mental well-being, because I am an extrovert. I'm very lucky that I have a spouse that will just sit and listen to me. Like, he's an introvert and he will just sit.
Yeah.
And let me just like, blah, 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 like word vomit all over, because after being with 3 kids, like I need a conversation that doesn't involve, will you wipe my butt?
Yeah.
And so I'm lucky that there. And then we've found ways. I have a couple good groups of girlfriends that we've done Zoom happy hour tonight, and we did Zoom game night the other night, and we're texting more often, and I'm actually connecting on a more normal level, or more frequent level with them than I would sometimes. And so that has helped a lot. But for me, it's the stress right now of being pregnant in a pandemic.
Yeah.
That is a little stressful. And I also have that stress of my parents are actually not home yet. Yeah. They are still on the cruise. They went through the Panama Canal today, and they should be flying home on Monday. So it's getting closer. But so between those two stressors, I'm finding that if I can do 10 minutes of just yoga and breathing and quiet in the morning, then it just centers me, and the movement if my body thanks me for the movement as well. So I'm trying to build that into my day. Like, my husband and I, we take turns getting ready in the morning without the littles, because if you get ready with 3 littles, it takes like 5 times as long. I don't know what they do. Somehow it takes me 5 hours to get ready if I have 3 littles. And so we take turns getting ready in the morning. And so I'm like, okay, I don't need to do my makeup today, so I can do yoga, or like, I don't need to do my hair today, so I can do yoga, like trying to prioritize that, because it really sets my day up to succeed. And then usually, like I said, we had an off day, but usually having some structure with the littles in a day when we can't go anywhere helps. Like, okay, we're going to have a craft, and we're going to watch this video, and then we're going to have lunchtime, and then we're going to have outside, and then we're going to have having things that break up the day helps too. So finding that routine, I'm lucky that I'm an educator. In the previous life, I was an art teacher, and so I have that training to fall back on, which is really nice. So I'm using a lot of that, and just one day at a time.
Well, if you have like any extra craft recipes, you just send them over, because we have made slime this week.
Oh, have you?
We've done. There's something we did. I guess it was cornstarch with slime we made, or I say we. I always say we in like the royal way of we, and it's Krista, because
I think that you guys with one little probably have it harder than I do, because my 3 have built-in playmates. Like, we don't have play dates with other people right now, but like, we have a built-in play group. I can say, go play with each other, and they do. Whereas like, I have some friends with 1, and it's harder because that kid wants to be entertained, and it's normal, you know.
Yeah, so I tell you what, it would be perfect if you send Gordon and Kate up. They get to stay with us. Bella,
right?
She would mother them like nobody's business. Because your kids are little and she's big, like big and tall, like, you know, like any kid that's smaller than her, it does not matter what age they are, she wants to mother them. So like, she has a 7-year-old friend that's just like a little bitty petite, like, you know, 2 feet shorter than her. She like mothers her like, she just wants to be a mother. That's the only thing she wants to do.
They love to just like be around kids. They're about 2 or 3, 4 years older than them. That's like they just think the world of them, you know. Yeah. So I have a niece that's that age, and they just like watch her like anything she does. So
it's awesome. It's awesome. So when your parents get home, are they gonna like kind of quarantine so they can make sure to see?
Right. The plan right now is that my mom is going to self-quarantine here. So my parents live across the street. If you really don't know. My mom has decided to quarantine there in Coppell, where we live. My dad is still on the fence and might go to the lake house to quarantine. We are trying to convince him not to do this for several reasons. One, he is immunocompromised. He's had cancer treatments. He's fine, but and he is in the age demographic that. And the lake house is in East Texas, where healthcare is not as prominent. And my father, before retirement, worked for a healthcare network here in Dallas. So, like, in my mind, wouldn't you want to be where, like, you go in the building of the hospital and your picture is on the wall, like, you know? So, and we just feel like my sisters and I are all here close, and we feel like it would be good to have all hands on deck here with my older sister as a single parent, and like we're about to have a baby, and just, you know, if someone does get sick, we can drop stuff off. So we're trying to convince them both to self-quarantine here in the city. But he's going to do what he wants to do, and that is his right. Yeah. I'm about to send him a picture of his garden though, and show him all the work he has to do here, because it's like way overgrown, and maybe that'll give him some incentive to stay in town. Yeah, I mean, if he'll just at least stay until the self-quarantine is over and the baby comes, then he'll just want to see the baby. So right, and they could walk across the street and see her through the window. I know. How long does she have to stay away from other people? Like, I haven't asked the pediatrician. When we come home, I haven't talked to my husband about it. Even in my mind, we come home, it's at least 2 weeks before before we see anybody, you know, besides our unit. Yeah. And that's if, like, it's going to depend on who they have seen in those 2 weeks, and, you know, and the current state. I feel like things are changing so much right now every day that I can't even predict what's going to be recommended. Are y'all Collin County? Y'all in lockdown? We are Dallas County technically. So we are shelter in place right now. Officially, our judge did call that, and so. As I think Collin did as well, and I think Denton did. I want to say Tarrant County did. So a lot of the ones around us have also called it recently, which I'm thankful for. So, are you guys technically shelter in place? Not here in Oklahoma County just yet. Nope. You're still social distancing. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. So we. We haven't had to do that yet. We've still been able to like get out and like go to the lake and walk. Of course, we're just staying away from everybody and that kind of stuff. But you know, we are allowed to do that. So you're allowed to leave for exercise. Yeah. But they're strongly recommending the 6 foot distance. Like if you pass somebody, you're supposed to, you know, be 6 feet away while you pass. And we have told our littles that the parks are just closed, and most of them are. But it's just because they are so little, they don't. For one, they don't know what 6 feet is. They don't have a sense of measurement. And two, they don't understand that if they're on a playground and another kid comes, they have to stay 6 feet away from them. Yeah. So it's just easier and safer for everybody for us to just play in the backyard or in the driveway and just call it that way. Yeah. I think Krista said that they're calling it safer at home here in Oklahoma. Yeah, yeah. After the hashtag alone together. Yeah. Yeah. We've done like scooter rides with them and that kind of thing. And we had to alter our route on one of them because on the route we usually take, there is an individual who always has their dog in the yard, and the dog is very nice, but then the individual comes out and interact, and it's just, you know, just, it's just easier to go a different way to avoid the situation. So, but yeah, it's just a crazy time to be navigating.
Yeah, I was telling Krista earlier today, I was like, I feel like that we're getting to that point to where kind of the media starts to grow kind of weary of talking about it all the time, mm-hmm. Which, with any, it's not like it's a scandal. It is actual good news that needs to be spread, but spreading good news or spreading bad news grows tired after a while. So we're kind of to that point to where everybody's kind of having a little bit of like fatigue about talking about it.
It's draining.
And, yeah, so it just drains you. And I think, we got to still make sure that we listen to the good information, because mm-hmm. we could easily think that just because it's not in the forefront anymore, we're kind of grown secondary mm-hmm. weird of it, that we're not really paying attention. And that's when a lot of people start to.
I try to keep up with like the big headlines, but then I got to turn it off at some point because it just gets too much, Yeah. But like to hear that the U.S. now has more cases than Italy.
Yeah.
That's scary. That's a scary statistic to hear.
Yeah.
But things like that. But then Gordon and we started watching Tiger King on Netflix.
Well, all right.
Have you watched it?
That guy's from Oklahoma, right?
Yes. Have you watched it?
I have not watched it. Everybody down here is talking about it, but that dude is hot mess crazy. Like,
oh my!
He's been on all kinds of news
everyone
shows
on
around
the
here.
show is hot mess crazy, Phil. It's like we're like totally like Gordon came in before the live and was like, "So how long is your live?" And I was like, "I think it's about an hour." He said, "Are you gonna want to watch more of that show when you get done?" I was like, "Yes, I am." So he's like staying up for me now. So
oh my god!
It's like it's a train wreck you can't look away from. There's so much ridiculousness.
Yeah.
And like I keep seeing all these memes about it, and I'm like, you know what? I need a little Tiger King in my life right now to lighten the mood.
Yep.
So
I don't even know like what all they're actually trying to tell. We probably need to figure that out just so we're stay informed. But like some of the things that we have seen here in Oklahoma, I mean, not to spoil it, but like if he like his boyfriend or whatever like try to kill himself or something, like I don't even know, like that kind of stuff. And
there's
like
some pretty crazy.
He like tried to have somebody attempted murder, like what?
There's some pretty. We're only a couple episodes in, but there's apparently some pretty crazy stuff. It comes out. So, but
I don't understand how somebody like that, who you think is a criminal, gets a Netflix show.
You know what? I think they timed it pretty well during this pandemic because everyone is like, who knew a guy like
Yeah. Oh, I'm telling you. And I just told Krista this morning, it's like, we're going to have to watch out because I'm about to say a word that you've never thought in your whole life, but it will become a word, and it'll be hashtag Coronado. Because we have tornado season coming up in the next 15 days, 20 days. And like we had one of these exotic parks. It's in like southwest Oklahoma City, got hit, and some of the tigers got loose. So they hashtagged it Tigernado. It was a real thing. So like they had to go out and find these tigers that were loose because of a tornado. So now we're gonna have tornadoes in the middle of Corona season, and so we're gonna have Coronado.
Like the the medical field is preparing for Corona stuff or trying to, but then you're gonna have other things like tornadoes, and we get them here every now and then, not like you guys do, but it's like our structure is so stressed already that something like that is a normal scheduled thing kind of is like, oh, it's okay,
it's crazy.
So
it's crazy. Well, we've almost went an hour. You have any questions for me? I talk too much.
No, you're great. This was fun. Congratulations on your 1 year. I can't believe it.
It's been so fun. And look, literally, it is nothing more than, it's not quite 52 people because I had a few people on multiple times, but it's just been 52 of the most amazing hours of my life to get to hang out with people and talk WW and be a voice into people's lives. It's been so awesome. I know that you've experienced that on the grand scale as well over the last year as your Instagram has blown up as well. So just being able to see people as they are and like talk into their lives, such a gift. Such just a blessing to be able to do that. I know you can talk about that if it's done it for you.
Yeah, just the connections you make on here. Like I never would have thought it would have been what it is. It's just surreal.
Yeah,
it's in such a good way, you know. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, I know there's all different ways that WW can interact with you, but they put my video in the little post that they had earlier this week, and like so many people have been like, "So proud of you," and it's awesome, and that kind of stuff. I'm like, you know, it is great to receive those kudos and stuff, but like it's just proof that any simple old guy that's just overweight that needs to lose weight and does it and tells his story, that can be you.